this morning's session, we have a person who is an expert who's going to talk the role of the spouse in Rotary. Fellow Rotarians, let's all welcome Rotary International President's Representative, spouse Charlene Hall.
How's that? Good morning, my new Rotary friends. For my Rotary counterparts as spouses, I have some really good news for you. Rotary has no rules and no expectations for spouses. There's one exception to that rule, as there is to every rule, and that is if they pay, they say. So other than that, the decisions are up to you as a spouse as to how you will participate or if you will participate. We hope you will. My experience is that it has been reflex. As I give something into Rotary, I get far more back than what I give. And I think that you will find the same thing. Last night, Rotary International Director nominee Rafi and Minda, he told about how they gave to the Rotary Foundation. And he also said that as they gave, God gave more back to them. We call that the rule of seed time and harvest. But it doesn't just apply to financial giving. It applies to whatever you do, to whatever time you spend, and whatever projects or whatever things you do in your home or out in your community or internationally. Seed time and harvest rules apply. You always get back more than you give. When I was in my early 20s, my mother died of breast cancer. But my mother-in-law, precious, precious lady who I loved dearly, became my mother. She gave great advice to a young wife and mother, and I needed her terribly. But she taught her daughters, and that included me, a couple of things. She taught us many things, but one that I'll always remember is that we should always try to look our best, because you feel better when you do. But she always said, any old barn looks better with a coat of paint. The other thing she taught us is it's almost impossible to not like someone who likes you. And you in District 3860 have certainly exemplified that. Your kindness and your smiles and everything that you have shown to Robert and me this weekend, we will carry with us in our hearts for as long as we can remember. As a Rotary spouse, you and your Rotarian will make the decision as to how, if, and when you will participate. Last night, Robert said something about in Rotary membership, he believes there are 3 stages of Rotary membership. When you're younger, you join Rotary and you stay in Rotary for networking and helping you in professional growth. And then when you're older, you want to change the world. And then you want to just have lunch or dinner with your friends, But I believe the same thing happens with spouses, because we have different stages in our lives. We have young children, then we have teenagers, and then we become empty nesters. But along that, we also may have jobs, and we may have elderly parents to care for. and then we have retirement, and then there may be grandchildren to care for. But you have to find a way to balance your life, your family life, your professional life, and your Rotary life, and your spiritual life. There are just a lot of things that you're balancing. And so you and your Rotarian will make those decisions about what you want to do. When Robert was in his first 3 clubs, all 3 of those clubs, I just maybe attended a party or 2. You know, it wasn't anything that I did. We had young children, he traveled a lot, and I had other things to do, and I really didn't know anything about Rotary. But then when he came into the Rotary Club of Dunwoody, the 34-member club, I found there was a lot that I could do, and they actually wanted spouses to participate, and I'd never heard that before, didn't know what they did. But, you know, I got the opportunity to host events where there were smaller groups and got to know other spouses, and through the participation in the different things that the club did, I got to know something about Rotary, but more importantly to me at that time, I got to know member spouses and also the Rotarians. And for me, that was very, very good. I will tell you, we got to host a GSE team from Brazil. I got to have people over for dinner. We got to, we actually made a float several years in our driveway that was used, it was a Rotary float used in a local parade. We got to pack school supplies. There were just a lot of different things, and your club does a lot of different things, all of which you can probably participate in if that's something that you're interested in. But I will tell you, remember as you go out, there's someone always who is more afraid than you are. You may think, oh, I don't want to go because I don't know those people and I don't know what I'm going to say. But there's somebody there always more afraid. But there are 2 things that every one of us can do, whether we have time or not. One of them is to smile. And I think I'm preaching to the choir here today. But the smile you give may be the only one that somebody gets that day. And last night we heard Anna Brown sing again. She is wonderful. She sang, "We Can Be Kind." And those 2 things, as a spouse, whether you participate or not, you can always do. If you're the president of a club or the incoming president of a club, I would suggest to you that when you induct a new member, invite the spouse to come. They may not know one thing about Rotary. Your new Rotarian may not either. But to include the spouse is when they learn something about why their Rotarian spends time. Because sometimes we don't like that. You know, he's gone or she's gone, not here with me, not helping with this or not helping with that. But invite them and include them so that they can see that it's a worthwhile thing. It's not just, as in Robert's case, a Friday morning breakfast meeting or a club. He's not just out with his friends for dinner. So that's a good thing. It's another case of seed time and harvest. The Honorable Mayor, Richard Gomez, of the Mayor of Ormoc, and his Congressman wife, Lucy, have learned about Rotary and giving to their community because they were concerned together about their community. And they have learned about Rotary reaching humanity because you have helped that community. Rotary spouse Sandra and PDG Hume have, along with it, they've enlisted help of other Rotarians to come together to form a school called REACH for special need kids. And that's where their son Zach attends. And you're going to hear about that from Sandra in a little while. Meanne, although she is the Rotarian, along with 3860, has had a platform for raising breast cancer awareness for early detection and cure. Rotary gives you opportunities to do things that you would not be able to do alone. Last April, my younger brother, my baby brother Charlie, died of Alzheimer's. It was a disease that he did not have. His wife was diagnosed in her 50s, and Charlie was her caretaker. 40% of caretakers die before the patient. If your friends, how many people in here do not know anyone with some form of dementia? Do not know anyone? Raise your hand. That's what I thought. One. It is a disease that touches us all. It is a disease that is increasing. Most other diseases are on the decline. Alzheimer's and the other forms of dementia are killers. When your friends tell you, when you say, "What can I do to help?" and they say, "Oh, nothing, we're okay." Let me tell you, they're not okay. They really are not. If you can go cut their grass, if you can take a meal, if you can go sit with the patient so that the caregiver can have a couple of hours to do something else, maybe it's even just take a nap, do it. Don't wait for them to tell you they need help, because they're not going to tell you. Many times it's a disease that people try to hide. They're embarrassed by. The patient doesn't want anybody to know in the early stages. But what I'm telling you about this, and the reason I tell you this story, is because Rotary has given me an opportunity to speak about Alzheimer's and cutting-edge research and to help raise funds for that. I couldn't do that and wouldn't have an audience to do that by myself. But through Rotary, I do. You have a passion for something, you as a spouse. I don't know what it is, but Rotary has 6 areas of focus, and I guarantee you that whatever your passion is, it fits in one of those 6 areas of focus. You can drive a truck through that. It is so big and so varied. There is a place in Rotary for whatever your passion is, and as a spouse, you will get the opportunity, if you get to know the Rotarians and if you want to participate, they are there to help you. Your club wants ideas for projects. And so being involved helps you. It's really a wonderful thing. But find your passion. Rotary gives you that opportunity and helps you find a voice for whatever your passion is. My mother was a great reader and read a lot to me as a child, and there's a little nursery rhyme called Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod, and the first line goes, "Winkin' and blinkin' and nod one night sailed off in a wooden shoe, off in a river of crystal light, and into a sea of dew. Where are you going, and what do you wish?" The old moon asked the 3. Figure out where you're going, what you want. What is your wish? Every American football coach tells his team, it's only a dream until you write it down, and then it becomes a goal. As Mother Teresa said, spread your love everywhere you go. Never let anyone come to you without leaving happier. Go out and sparkle. You will show that Rotary is making a difference. Thank you.
Very well said, spouse Charlene Hall. Thank you very much.